Hello, hi, good morning, all. I hope you can all hear me. Great. So let's start at 8:10. The people are still joining in. Okay, so hi all. So let us start with the thanks. Yeah, Rishabh. So please, I'll just make you the presenter so you can share your screen.
Amit, you show my screen?
Yeah, I
You
made
see my
it.
screen? Sorry.
No, I can't see it right now.
I will. I'll share my screen. There is a
Is-
option. Is a show option. I will click on R Studio. But
You have
uh,
to.
can I mail my file on your mail ID?
You can do that.
Okay. Can you ping your mail ID on chat box? So I will. Thank you.
Okay. So, class, uh, anything that you would like to ask before we do the things ahead?
Hi Amit.
Hello.
Hi Amit. Do we consider age as a factor in the train data? Oh, sorry, training data.
Sorry?
Do we consider age as a factor in a training data set?
No, no, no. Age is not a factor. Age is a continuous data.
Okay. Actually, I made it a factor that I create a model, but unable to predict it because factor average that factor age has a new level.
No, so when you add the levels, so that is something that you do in the factors, right? So age is a continuous variable. So let me do one thing. Let me just come up over here. Let's discuss today. So like the pointers that we mentioned in the class. So we'll discuss that thing and then we will move ahead. Okay. So we had to discuss the couple of things about factors, the apply functions. Okay, so these were the things that we had to discuss. So let us start on that. Uh, so, so Raghu, there would be this also that the variables also you would have got like what is the p values for the different variables. So you have shared a part of that summary, the deviance value and the residual deviance. You might would have got the p values for each of the variables. You have to go through it and identify which variables are coming as significant and which are not. So Raghu, is it possible to share your screen because I'm not able to get it? Like, what are the points that you're trying to tell over here?
Yeah, okay, I will share my screen. Can you make me as a presenter?
Yeah.
Let me know, Amit, once you're able to see my screen.
Mhm.
So I follow the method what we did for social networks
Mhm.
ads. You see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. Just go through this, and I got this one output as.
You scroll it a little up. The output that you have, just scroll it a little up. The output.
Okay. I got output like this 111 for who survived. Then what I did, I write the data in output. So similar way I got output.
Can you show me your code if you can just scroll it a little up?
Yeah, sure. Can I scroll?
No, wait, just I'm just going it. Can you, so why, actually you didn't have to change that survived into factor because that is already,
Correct.
so that was,
No way. Earlier it is with an integer only, not a factor.
but you have changed it
Uh,
into a factor.
yeah, I changed it to factor. It was an integer.
So, but see, like that is our survived is something that is our main predictor variable, right? So, what we call it as, which we call it as zero and I mean one. So we
One,
know that.
yeah.
So in the logistic regression, also what happens is basically there is a linear equation only that is applied. So this should not be changed
Okay.
into a factor. You should have keep it the same way.
Okay. But in purchased and this one social networks, purchases that we consider as this one, right? Dependent variable, but there we converted it to factor, right?
Over there, it was actually in the form of yes and no. And that data set that we were using, we had an output. The purchase data was in the form of yes and no. So that is why we
Okay.
do zero and one.
Change it to factor. Okay. So I thought that in this one logic regression, we need to make that dependent variable as a factor. So that's why I did it here. Mhm.
So can you scroll down?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So you want, oh, wait. So you are removing NA.
Correct. So I checked whether that how the histogram for age it's skewed data. Then I used median here instead of mean.
Okay, so you have, okay. So scroll it down. There are a couple of things that you have not taken care of, due to which you are getting a lot
Mm-hmm.
of information. If you just open the data set Titanic DF,
Okay. Okay.
in the R only, yeah, okay. So if you see over here right now, like there is a data set that is, there is a column of passenger ID. There is a column of
Yeah.
name. Okay, these are some columns that we know that will not be helpful in terms of any predictions.
Correct. We can remove it. Yes.
Yes. So before you would have broken up this data into test and train, you should have removed the column
Mm-hmm.
of passenger ID, the name, and probably you can remove
Mm-hmm.
the column of ticket also. It is just a ticket number,
Okay.
and each column will have a unique value, and it will.
Difference. Amit, will it make any difference if we not remove it?
So the output that you will get, so we discussed that what happens is there are dummy variables that are created in the background, right? So that
Okay.
is why what
Okay.
happen is like if you have 1000 names, it will create 999 variables in the background, which will be of no use.
Okay. But if we remove the name, then if from the test data, but who are survived, then we need names, right? Okay, just we're going to count how many people are survived instead of the person name, correct? That's the
No,
reason we are removing
no.
name.
So basically, the data is already there. The objective is to identify what kind of people survive and what kind of people die. So we want to
Mm-hmm.
identify which are the factors that affect the survival status.
Okay.
Right? So name is nothing. So name will not be a variable which will tell, okay, if the name is, say, suppose ABC, he will survive, and if it is XYZ, he will not survive.
No. What I mean to say, for example, okay, for example, this is this age, okay, 3. Okay, so what I thought is who are all survived in the age 3. So in practical thing, I'm asking. Okay, for example, who are if we don't want that output. So who are also in practically, I'm asking.
No, no. So see, that is what I'm saying. what happen is that when you get the data, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
idea, so what, first of all, explain me what is the objective and idea of this project, of this, the case study.
Correct. Who are all saved from here? Which age people and which gender are saved, survived?
So what was the demographics of the people who survived and who didn't survive,
Correct.
right? So in
Correct.
that
Correct.
case, the name is something that is not a matter of concern.
Not required. Agree. Agree. Age and sex only required. It's
Yes.
mandatory.
So this is mandatory.
Mm-mm.
It can, so you can also see that, you have a column of sibling and spouse. So suppose if a person is, traveling with his wife, or he is traveling with his children or parents, that can also impact
Mm-hmm.
whether a person will survive or not, because no one, people do not leave behind their siblings, that, okay, I am going to survive, and you can come behind me. So those are the variables also
Mm-hmm.
that can impact the survival status. So the idea was that, this is the data that we have captured, and now say suppose
Mm-hmm.
another kind of a Titanic ship goes, and if some tragedy happen, so what kind of people will
Mm-hmm.
survive and what will not? So those things we have to kind of create in this model.
Okay. Okay. Agree.
Yeah. So that is why, this output that you're getting right now, it is kind of, you're getting all the names and you're getting that information. So remove
Mm-hmm.
those variables, add them, remove them, and then uh,
I'll
rebuild the
try.
model.
Okay, fine. I mean, anyway, we're going to try it now, right? This data set.
So this is, I have given more as an example. So I want that all of you to try it out and share the solution.
Okay,
Otherwise, if
fine.
you want, I can share the solution as well. So this is
Okay,
meant for the practice purpose.
correct.
So Rishabh, embarked is basically the point from where the journey was started. So P, Q, R, they are just the abbreviations, like whether a person started his journey from point P, Q, or R. That is what they are.
Amit, can I stop sharing?
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, yeah. I make you as presenter.
So Rishabh, have you shared that code?
Amit, I share my R file on your mail ID.
I'm just trying this out. So just looking at the code. So what was the problem that you were having in this, Rishabh?
I'm having a problem with according to my model. Uh, it sees a significance on other variables, but I see your model. But in your model, age is also a significant variable, but in my model is I don't see. So there is a problem.
In the training, you have got 21,000 entries.
Here is the problem in. There is here is not a significant. Amit, I have a one doubt. What is intercept in this column?
Y equal to mx plus c, that c that you have, the constant value, that is called as intercept, c value of c.
Oh, okay, okay. Amit, I have a one more question. In a logistic regression, we are creating a model. So we see the summary of the model. So all the significance we can fetch in other new model, and we are predicting on this model. Why we do this?
Sorry, I didn't get a question.
Actually, you see the summary.
Huh?
And all there is some significant variables on it, some like who having 2 3 unique values, so it will separated differently, like gender, male and female. So there is a significance variables differently. So we are creating a new model for significant variables. So why we do this? Because we are doing a model, but in linear regression, so we do not think there. We not
I
do
mean,
there.
the question is basically like when we created this model, we used all the variables, and then
Yeah,
why are we recreating with the selected variables?
yeah.
So this is something that we do in the linear regression also. Like what you do is basically what happen is like when you have executed this model and you saw that there are a lot of variables which are not at all significant. So what we do is we remove them and then we try to rerun the model to check if the significance of other variables has improved by removing that. So we just try to
Okay,
check that if there is any improvement in the model that has happened. So that is why we do it.
okay,
And if you see that there is no if there is no change that is happening in terms of even after removing the variables, so either you use the previous model or this model, so results will be the same.
okay, okay. So it will see the difference of all the variables.
You will have to check the difference. Basically, you will have to see whether the significance of these values, right? For example, you will run this model and you will check p values. Has the p values
Hmm.
got better for any of the variables after rerunning it, or are they still the
Hmm.
same? You will check whether the null deviance and residual deviance it has got lower or not, it has improved or not. Like
Hmm.
in the case of linear regression, you will check whether the r square has increased or not. If the r square is
Hmm.
still the same, nothing has changed. So that means even after removing the variables, the behavior or the importance of the variable is not changing.
Okay. Okay. So can you load this model, another model I have created? So it will give an error
You might would have done some mistake in writing that up.
in that model. Yeah, gender female not
So
found.
gender female, you do not have to write it, because what has happened
Uh,
is that, remember we discussed something on the part of dummy variables, right? So what the models do is they
hmm.
create the dummy models in the background. If you have the categorical data, the models create the dummy variables. So
Hmm.
for example, this data set, if you will open up this trending, this data set, this is the column name is gender. It has two values, male
Yes.
and female. So what will this do? This will create a column in the background. So wherein it will say this is the data, where what it will do is it will this was the data that we had. So it will create a column by the name of, it created the column by the name of gender female. So this was created in the background. Okay, so
Yeah.
it said, okay, if this is male, it will keep 0, 1, 0, 1. That is how this variable is created. So
Okay.
technically, the variable name will remain as gender only, not the gender female. If you will come back over here in the code, if you will write it down properly, if you will change it to gender,
After the credit amount.
so now if you pick it up, you run it, and same thing has happened for academic qualification as
Okay.
well.
Actually, I was considering all the significance, but not about thinking about the uh, background background dummy variables.
So you when if you see the dummy variables are coming significant, you have to keep the name of just the original column, not the dummy parts, right? So these all will change. This will remain as academic. You will just keep it as once academic qualification. You will not have to
Hmm.
write them all of them multiple times. So you just write it like this. This becomes qualification, and same will happen for the marital status also. So marital
Hmm.
status is one single column. You do not need to write marital and others again over here. Okay.
Before marital single is also yeah.
So this way, no, for I think for this same is happening for your this repayment status also. So repayment status for Jan is coming as significant, and
Yeah,
because that
yeah,
status was
yeah,
multiple types, 1, 2, 3, so it has created those variables multiple times. So you have to just correct these things out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And did you change something in your data? I mean, I'm not sure why is it not showing it up. Technically, it should. Let me do one thing.
And I'm changing only single gender column.
I'll just take a look at it. I think there is either shuffling or something that has happened due to which it is not picking it up. Let me just take a look at it, so just so that we do not spend some time. I mean, just to
Okay, okay, okay,
put time for this. I'll just take a look at it and I'll get back to you on this. Okay. So after,
okay, okay. Thank you so much.
otherwise the code is correct. I mean, there is no issue with the code.
Yeah.
And so, like, the question that Bhuvneshwari you have asked, like, what is the AIC and what is the Fisher scoring iterations? So basically, the Fisher scoring iterations are these are the loops or the number of times the R has executed the code in the background, right? These are called as scoring Fisher scoring iterations, and we will be talking about this Fisher score in a lot of detail in one of our next the basically the next model that we will learn, that is the linear discriminant analysis. Over there you will actually understand what exactly that Fisher score means. Okay, Fisher score is basically a way by which what happen is the R tries to give a score to the variables and tries to identify their significance. So there is a mathematical formula that is used, that is m1 minus m2 divided by v1 plus v2. So that is mean of one variable minus mean of second variable. So I will be explaining you this in a lot of detail, and you will all be calculating this by yourself also. Okay, so just park this question. So you will be doing this up in the next model that we will be seeing. The AIC stands for, the Archaic Information Criteria. Okay, so this is again similar to what you have, like the value of deviance only. Okay, so this is, if I just explain you, so this is basically, if I just write it down over here, it stands for Archaic Information Criteria. Okay, so this is again a technique to understand the overall, the fit of the model. Okay. So like, we used to get if you remember in the linear regression also, we used to get a final p value of the model. Like what is the overall goodness of the entire model that you have created. We used to get a p value over there. Similarly, like, what is happening in the logistic regression is, if you will actually see, what we get over here is, we get the null deviance, we get the residual deviance, and this is basically the witness the variation in the data that is calculated with intercept and without and the just with the intercept and with the residuals. And same is the concept of AIC, right? This is also a deviance only, but this is the deviance of the overall model. And again, right, when you run the model multiple times, either you can compare these two terms, you can either compare these values if they are getting down or not, or you can compare this AIC as well. If you think that the AIC has gone down after rerunning the model, but this null deviance and residual deviance are still the same, so that means after rerunning the model, your model has again improved a little bit, and you can use the next model on the top of that. Okay, so this is used to compare the different possible models and determine like which one is the best. So you can either use null deviance residual deviance, or you can use AIC also as a whole. Okay, so yep, so we have any other questions from anyone?
Amit, if someone creates a age as a factor by mistake, and if you want to remove it as a factor, then how it can be done?
So one way is you can write simply, say suppose you had a variable, and like in this case only, let me show you what you have done is, say suppose you have we have a column of age in this. So what I can do is, if I write over here df underscore bank equal dollar age, equal to, you have changed it into factor, right? So as dot factor and df dollar the age, right? So now what I've done is I have changed this variable in the form of a factor now. Now what if you want is, if you want to change it back into an integer, so what you can do is you can just change this thing into as dot integer. So you will change its type. So you can do it like this, or the best way would be always to rerun the code from the starting, so that you do not have any the problem happening in the future. So you can always start the code from again and do not run that step of as dot factor again. So that is what the purpose of code is, right? So codes are meant to be executed again and again. Got it, Harmeet? Oh, okay. So now let me all give you a question over here, right? So you all have, we all are aware of the data set MPG. Okay. So let me just put this library dplyr and sorry, empty cars. So we all have this data set of empty cars with us. MPG was, I guess, in the in another the ggplot data set. I want all of you to create a function where what that function should do is create a function, and what that function should do is the function must check the function must check the mpg value, and if the mileage, right, if the mpg is less than, say suppose 15, output should be low, and if the mpg is between 15 to 20, then it should say medium, otherwise high. Now you all have to create a user defined function for that, right? First of all, you have to create a function, and with the help of that function, you should generate these values on the data set of empty cars, right? So all of you please create this function, user defined function. So whomsoever creates the function, please share the code on the personal chat, okay? Anyone who has done it? So Bhuvneshwari, first of all, you will not. The thing is that you will not be able to apply that function till the time you have created that user-defined function for the same. I mean, I would like to see that how you have done it. Yes, Raghu, the data set is empty cars, right? So see, there is a reason that why I'm asking you. So S apply, L apply. I will be explaining you that thing on the top of it. So first of all, you all should be able to create this function. So technically speaking, right, you will not even need to use that data set, right? Because the function that we create, functions are what? Functions are something that can be used anywhere, wherever you want. So I just gave you a reference of that data set empty cars, that in the empty cars data set you have a column of mpg, but I want you all to create a function that should check that if the mileage is less than 20, it should give the output as, if it is less than basically 20, what should be the output? If it is between sorry, less than 15, what should be the output? 15 to 20, what should be the output? Likewise. No, Rishabh, this is not correct. So I hope all of you remember how we create the functions, right? So functions are something that we use so that you do not have to write a big piece of code, right? We all have a data set with us. Uh, Over here, let me show you. This is the data set that I'm talking about. Now, let us try to understand. Say suppose I want over here that you should add a column where we have to check the MPG. Okay, if the MPG is less than 15, output should be low. If it is between 15 to 20, it is medium, and if it is more than 20, I want the output to be as high. Now see, as I keep on saying these things in every session, so for doing every task, each thing in the R or any other software, you will find multiple ways of doing it. Okay, so I can simply, if you want to do it, I can simply create a column over here where I can say that, okay, empty cars, dollar status. I'm just create, oh sorry, first of all I will save this data in one of my variables. Say suppose cars, I would like to save empty cars data in this. Then I can simply say cars dollar status, and I can create that calculation where I will say if else. I will check. First thing that I will check is what is my condition. My condition is that empty cars dollar mpg, if it is less than 15, the output should be low. Otherwise, what I will have to do is I will have to check that condition again. I will put if else over here one more time, and I will put my next condition over here that empty cars dollar mpg, if this is uh, less than 20, what should be my output? In that case, it should be output should be medium, otherwise high, right? So this is the column that I am creating. So if I check this cars now, let us check the dataset cars, view cars. See, I've got the column of status. In case it is 21, it is high, all the high. Where it is medium, it would be more than 15 and less than 20, 18. So you can see, and over here it is low. See, I am able to get this really quick over here. So, so Bhuvneshwari, yep. So you have created this MPG ratings functions. Correct, correct. So this is this function that you have shared, that is perfectly correct. This is exactly what I wanted. Correct. Now, like what I have done is I have got this output. But the problem with this is, if suppose I have multiple data sets with me. Okay, I have variety of data sets with me, where what I want to do is in each data set I have to check, and in each data set there is a column of mpg, and I want to get a new column like this, or I want to check whether the mileage is less than 15, or whether the mileage is low, medium or high. It will become a very very continuous or a time taking effort step for me, where I will have to keep on writing these statements again and again. So in order to resolve that thing, what we can do is we can create a function, right? We can create a function. So how do you create a function? So that is what my question over here was, that you should create a function that when you apply that function to this column of mpg, it should give you the same output. So I hope all of you remember how we create the function. So let us see it. Let me do it. So when you have to create a function, first of all, what you do is you define a name for that function. Let us call that function as uh, anything. We can call it as mpg underscore function. Okay. Now this is the name of my function. How does the function start, right? What is the syntax for that? Any function that you create, it starts with the syntax this. Then what you do is you define the input parameter. What is the input a person will be giving, right? Say suppose the person will be giving the input as mileage. Okay, you will be giving the input as in mileage, and using this mileage, what you have to do is you have to create a function that should validate if that mileage is less than 15, low; if it is more than 15, less than 20, it should be high, and likewise. So can I do that? How will I do it? So my function will start from here. Now in this, whatever code I will write, that will define my function. So what is the logic that I will write? I will follow the same logic, the if condition I will have to use. So I can say over here that if, how do we write the if? I will put the condition if the mileage, right? We have to check the mileage. If the mileage is less than 15, right? This is what my syntax is. I am saying if the mileage is less than 15, what do you want to return? I would like to return low, correct? Else if I check my another condition, else if the mileage is less than 20, because if the first condition will fail, it will come to the second condition. And if this condition is true, what do you want to return? Medium, right? Else, if this also gets fails, what will be my output? Return high. Okay, this is how we create a function. Are we all sorted on this? So this is the function that I have created. Now the good thing about this function is, now this function can be used anywhere, wherever you would like to use it. You will be able to apply this function. You will not have to write this big sentence of the things over here. So did we miss on some? Okay, we have missed one bracket. Yep. Yes, Raghav, please ask. Where is going wrong? This. Hello. Yep.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Raghav.
So when we are writing this condition, right, marriage is less than 15 and marriage is less than 20. Now, will this not cause at any point to find some kind of a discrepancy because 15 is
Your
given
voice
less
is
than
not. Your
15?
voice is not clear, Raghav. It is breaking a lot.
Is it better now?
No, no, it is still distorted.
Okay, I'll just try to type it then.
This is correct. This is correct. Yeah, no, it's just the brackets that are missing. So, Raghav, your question is there a scenario where this condition can fail because less than 15 values can also be less than 20? No, so when the conditions are checked, right? So how this if logic works is, so first of all, it will check the first condition, right? Say suppose you have a mileage, the car's mileage was 21. Now the mileage was 21, it will check the first condition. So this number is now not less than 15. So this condition will fails and the loop will jump to this condition. It will check, is this now number less than 20? So we see, okay, no, it is not less than 20. So it jumps to the else part and it gives you the output as high. Suppose now the mileage was, say suppose, if the mileage was, say suppose the 13. In the first condition itself, it will be able to verify that, okay, yes, this condition is true and it will give you the output as low, right? So we are checking the condition at each step. So wherever it meets the first condition, it gives you the output at that same step. So it doesn't check all the conditions. So we are checking, so we have given multiple conditions. So if it will rain today, I will take the umbrella, and if it will not, I will not take the umbrella. So it's as obvious, right? So if it will not rain, so I will not be carrying my, so the moment my first condition gets satisfied, so I just flow with that. So Risha, what is the error that you are getting? Please check, there could be some errors with your syntax. What is the error? Please try to investigate it, because we all should be now able to investigate the errors as well, right? So like I was getting an error, so I could see that there was some problem with the brackets that I was having. Others, are you all able to create it? So Harmeet, Sakshi, Surup, Swati, Yash. Let me know if you have any doubts, any question, any query. So what we have done is we have created a user defined function. Up till now, just the function has been created, right? Now what this function will do is this function will check for the values which will be given as an input. It will check whether the value is less than 15, then it will give low. If it is less than 20, medium. Otherwise it gives you the output as high. Okay, now I have to apply this function on my column of the, I want to apply this function onto my empty cars, the cars dataset that we have created. So how will I bring this column again? So who will tell me? Now using this function, we have to bring this column over here now. Now all the logics, right? This is just about the logics, all the things that we have done. We are just putting and using all these things together. So can you now create a column over here using this the function and generate this column of status in your data set of cars? I will put this code on the chat as well, if in case if anyone has any troubles, you can try it and let me know if there are any doubts on this. So Raghav, basically what happened is the functions take an input. Okay, so you cannot leave the function as blank, because if you see what I have done is I have created over here something like this, right? So this mileage is an input. So it will give you an error that there was a parameter, input parameter that was required, and it is not getting that. Okay, and even if you will try to create it, right? So we have created the column of cars, and let me create another variable, cars status 2. I'm creating one more variable, and if I say what I want to do is I want to apply, what is the name of the function that I gave? mpg underscore function, right? So if I say mpg underscore function and I give the input as empty cars dollar mpg, I'm giving this as an input. See, it gives me some warnings over here. So the condition has length more than 1 and only the first element will be used, and if this, the first element will be used. So if you see it, so there are some warnings that we have got, and let us check the output. Is the output that we have got, is it correct or not? See, everywhere it has given us the output as high. Right, so everywhere the output is coming as high, which is definitely incorrect, right? So how can I get the right output in this case? Now I have the function with me, I want to generate the same output, but right now the output that I've got is incorrect, and it is telling us that what is the problem, because what we are doing is we are giving the entire column, right? What we have done is when I'm using this function over here, please all of you just you can pay just follow with me along for a minute. What we will do is I have passed the entire column in this. I have passed the entire column of MPG. I have given that as an input. But what my function does is it picks only one value. So what my function has done is it has picked up the first value and checked whether it was high, medium, and low, and it has given the same result all across the rows. So that is why the result that I'm getting over here is incorrect. Okay. So how will I get the correct output for this? So right, Raghav, you will have to apply the loop and then get that output, right? So can you now all use this function and generate the same column of this with the correct values using the loop? So now this will be a good activity for the brush up of all the things that you have done in the past. Please apply the loop and get the same output. So create a column of status 3 and generate the high, medium, and low over there. Anyone who has done it? How we will do it? Let me just try it out. Let me note this starting. I will say for I in number of rows or I in 1 to number of rows in cars, right? So how many times that loop will work? That loop will work for the number of rows that we have in that data set. Then what do I want to apply my logic? So how will I do it? So how do loop works? Loop work one by one, right? So I am saying I want to run my loop. I want to run my loop. See, you will have to talk to yourself, and then only you will be able to write the code properly. So you are saying that you have to go row by row, check each row the value of MPG, and if the value is less than 15, low, medium, and high. That is what you have to check for each value. That is why you are using loop, right? So what I will do over here is I will say this. Now what do I need to check over here? I come to my cards dataset, row number 1, comma, column number 1, right? But if I will put row number 1, so I am hard coding the stuff. The idea of the loop is with the loop, I should keep on investigating my each row. So what should I keep put over here? What should I put over here? Right side. So I should be putting I over here because when the first time the loop will work, it will be row 1 column 1, second time row 2 column 1, next time row 3. So we are moving row by row. And in each row, what I want to do is I want to create a column of status 3, and what should be its value equal to? Its value should be equal to, we already have a function with me, that is mpg underscore fun, and it should basically check that thing for my data set, that is cars dollar mpg, the each row value, row I over here. Correct? So I'm just going one by one row. So will this work? Oops. Class, is this clear to all of you? What we have done? Class, I'm not even getting a yes or no. Are you with me or not? You are getting it. You have any questions? Please be a little vocal. So Sahil, you might would have got a error. So I've just corrected this. I just by mistake, I put that the row number over here. Okay, that is what the problem was happening. So please check your code. I can just put this over here as well. Okay, so if you see right now, what we have done is we have first created a function, and then what we have done is we have applied that function to create a new column. And what that column is, how we are able to apply that function is we are actually what we are doing is we are actually kind of writing a loop in order to apply that function. Now that is where the things become a little complex, right? We had to write this entire code in order to apply this function that we had created. Now in order to simplify that thing, what we have is we have apply family. Okay, so apply family is the list of functions that do the same task that is done by the loops. Okay, now we have a function that is lapply. Now lapply is something that gives the output in the form of a list. Okay, L stands for list over here. So the output that you will get because of this lapply will give the output in the form of list. Okay, that is the way that it will generate the output. So what I can do now is if I have to apply this, if I have to use this lapply function, so how I'm gonna use it. So this is something that I will be telling you now over here. So these functions are really quick and easy the way you can apply it. You just, and the syntax, whether you're using an lapply or an sapply, you can simply apply them by using this function over here. Let me just show you that. So I will say over here lapply. Okay, so what is the list? What is the input that I'm giving? That is my cars dollar mpg. What is the function that I have to apply? Function is equals to this mpg function that we have created. Correct, this is the function that I have to apply. So I'll just paste this. So now do I need to give the input in this? No, I do not need to give any input parameter over here. Why so? Because these apply functions are created for this purpose only. I am saying that this is my input, and on this input this function has to be applied. So I do not need to define that input because this input is automatically defined in this apply function that I'm using over here. Now if I will run this, unexpected equals to, is that equals to function, sorry, this will not come. Okay. If you see this, the output, it has generated the same. It has given me the same output. If I'll show you over here now, high, 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 and then there was a medium it at the fifth number. So you can see the at the fifth number over here also we had a medium. So it has given you the same output, but the thing is that it has given you the output in the form of a list. Okay, list, this is the output in the form of a list. But if you do the same thing and instead of using the lapply function, you can use sapply. If you will use sapply function gives you the output in the form of a vector. Again, the output will remain the same. I am saying cars dollar mpg, and what function do I want to apply? I want to apply the mpg underscore fun, this function that we have created. Now if you see, this is a vector, so I've got this output in the form of a vector over here. Now I could have achieved the same thing by using the apply family of functions. I could have said cars dollar status pour is equal to this. So if you will see now, if I'll check, there is another fourth column that I've just added, and it will also be having the same values, right? This, and this. So basically the idea of using the apply family of function is when you have to apply a function and that will require a loop, you can avoid all the hassles of writing the complete section of this, writing the code and the loop and all. You can straight away get that task done by using the apply function. Getting in, class? So the only difference is that if you use lapply, it gives you the output in the form of a vector. If you use sapply, if you use lapply, it gives you the output in the form of a list, right? List output. Sapply, it gives the vector output. And even if you will use apply, now apply has a usability that apply can be, it is a kind of a function. Apply is a function that you can use. This can be applied on a matrix or a data frame, and you can define whether you want to apply a function row wise or column wise. Okay, and it also gives you the output in the form of a vector. So like for example, I had shown you this example previously that if I create a matrix over here, let us create a mat is nothing, that is a matrix from numbers 1 to 25, and I need a number of rows equal to 5, right? So this is a matrix that I have right now. Say suppose I want to add up all these numbers together. Okay, so what I can do in this case is I can simply say apply, this is the mat is my input. I want to apply my function row wise. For row we put 1, for column we put 2, and I want to sum it. See, so it gives me a vector of all the sum. If I put 2 over here, it will give me the sum by column wise. Yes, class, making sense to all of you?
So I mean, we have this a variety of this apply family. So when we use lapply or apply or like sapply, does it means we can only apply that on list and get an output as a list, or we can apply it on anything like matrix or a data frame?
So basically what happens is like when you apply the lapply function, so there are two things. One is input and one is output, right? So if you see over here, when I was using lapply, Over here the code was same and over here the code was same. It is just that instead of L I have applied S. So in both the cases, in this case the input is the same, but the way the output is being generated, that is different, right? So L apply is giving you the output in the form of a list and S apply is giving you the output in the form of a vector. Okay, so the output is changing, the type of that output. So when you are using L apply, so just check out the output. So it is coming in the form of a list over here. And when I'm applying S apply, it is giving me the output in the form of a vector over here. Right? And when I used apply, apply also gives the output in the form of a vector, but it has an added thing that over here what I can do is I can define whether I want to apply my function row wise or column wise. So this apply function gives me a added functionality over here. So guys, any questions, anyone, any queries on this? See, all these functions are same, right? So these functions are exactly the same. Like for example, if you would like to see a T apply. See, first of all, we all have to understand what is the exact idea. So these functions are reducing our effort in terms of writing the loop. So that is something that is common with all the functions that you have. Okay. So if you use the function of T apply, right? So T apply is something that what T apply over here it will do is if you will try to use it, it will again do the same thing. And in this case, it will take a factor variable, right? It will take a factor variable from a vector, right? It is useful that suppose you have to create a subset of a vector and then apply some functions to each subset. So when I say each subset, right, let me give you a small example of this. We have a data set of iris with us. Okay, we have this iris data set. Now say suppose what I want to do is I'm asking you over here that in the iris data set what we have is, if you will take a look at this iris dataset, we have the sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width for the different species. So in the dataset, we have three species of flowers. Okay, we have three species of flowers. Okay, now in these three species, what I want to do is for each species, I want to find out what is the average sepal width. Okay, suppose this is what my idea is. I want to find the average sepal width for each species. So how will you do it if you do not know what exactly a tapply function is? So what approach will you take? So what approach will you take? So you have to give me the average. What is the average sepal width for each species? How will you give me that output? Yep, anyone? So the question is, you have to tell me what is the average sepal width for the three species of flowers that we have in the iris dataset. But why should I be adding a column, Sakshi? Basically, if I add a new column, so we have 150 entries. What I want is like for Setosa, what is the average sepal width? Then I want to go to the second species, that is like this. Over here we have versicolor, right? What is the average sepal width for this versicolor? So I want that as an output. Okay, so let me give you a hint over here. We did something similar in using the dplyr package, right? This is something that we did in the dplyr package. We used the function of group by and summarize function in order to get that output, right? So that is how you can do it. Awesome. So right, Yash, so there you are, you have shared it. Perfect. This is exactly what I was looking out for. So I'm just copying your this syntax over here. So there we are. Perfect, right? Now this same thing, right? So like, Yash, the code that you have shared over here, like this is a big piece of a code that you wrote, and you got, and you got the answer. Now the same thing can be done with the help of tapply function. Okay, now tapply is one of the function that is used for the similar kind of a task over here. So what is the vector? So first of all, what you do is you give what is the what is the on what column the calculation has to be done. From the iris data set, I want to pick up the column of, what is not giving me, the column name is sepal dot width. Okay, sepal dot width. What is the index? Index means basically for which column do you want to apply the function. I want to apply the function for the column that is species. So iris dollar species. What function do you want to apply? I want to apply a function of mean, right? This is the function that has to be applied, mean over here. So if you see it, so this gives you the same output over here as well. Setosa 3.428, 2.77, right? 2.77, 2.94, the same output I have got over here using the tapply function. So where I'm defining calculation has to be done on this, grouping has to be done on this, and mean has to be calculated on this. So guys, only one person out of 25 people gave the correct answer over here. So what is the accuracy rate do I get? So 1 divided by 25, 4%. So, what I feel is like, please keep practicing all the things that we have done in the past also. And, because those are the things, all the things together that we are doing will be helpful for all of you, right? So, one thing that I've realized over the sessions, right? Something that I feel, and this is something that is very common with all the batches that I train. See, what happen is that people, generally they keep on, uh, you know, see some topics and they feel that, this is something that we have not done. This would be very important. Okay. And they lose out the focus. Oops. Sorry, guys. There was the power cut that has just happened. Just joined back again. Okay, so what I was telling you was like, the things that we all are doing in the classes. So these are very well formulated things. Okay, so there will be a lot of stuff that you will find outside the course content as well, right? Because it is not technically possible to cover each and everything. So what I try to do is I try to cover all those things which are really important and which you will be using day in, day out, right? Because since I come from the same industry and I've been working on these things for more than 10 years now. So I know like what kind of work comes in, what kind of things you use on a daily basis, and what kind of stuff is asked in the interview. So when I hire people, what kind of skills do I actually look out for in them? So those are the kind of things I also keep on sharing as well, right? So please, do not lose out the touch for the past from the past things, right? Yesterday what was happening was I was training a batch and I was teaching them the software Tableau. Okay. And now out of a sudden that one person came out and he said, okay, Amit, I think Tableau is not that popular, and I have heard that Power BI is very useful tool. Don't you think that we should be learning Power BI, right? So now I asked him one quick question that, okay, so can you please tell me why you should not, like, who guided you that you should learn Power BI and not Tableau? Now he told me that there is a topper in my college and he has told me that Tableau is not used. You should be learning Power BI now. And like, this is how the information flows. I am a person who is sitting in front of me, in front of him, who is from that same industry, working for the 10 years, and he was not believing my point that Power BI, yes, it is a popular tool, but it is not as great as what Tableau can do. So that is the reason, in the trainings, everywhere you will see Tableau is being taught because it has more industry, penetration. More than 60 to 70% of the companies use Tableau these days today, and it has far more features than Power BI. But he came up with a perception that, I guess the Power BI is more useful, so I should not put my attention on Tableau. I will try to learn Power BI by myself. So this is where the things go a little, out of the out of the direction. So the key context over here is that please, do not lose out the touch on the past things that we have done, because these same concepts will come in the Python. The same things will come in the SQL. The same things will come in the Tableau as well. Okay, so Nandini, can you hear me? I guess you were having some trouble with the voice. Let me change. I'm just changing my network. Just give me a second. Actually, I just connected from my hotspot because this modem takes 2-3 minutes to get.
It's better now.
Okay. Yeah, now the voice will be okay.
Hello, Amit, am I audible?
Yeah, Nandini, I can hear you.
Yeah, I have a concern. So not about the class. Actually, the problem, so we are getting recording after 2-3 days of completion of classes. Okay. So what happened? I was not able to attend one of the Saturday's class, which is 4 hour. Okay. So I could not get the recording the same day. The same because of that, I could not continue the Sunday class also. So it is like 4 to 4. I mean, I could not understand what is happening in the Sunday class also. It is like 4 plus 4, 8 hour class. I'll have to again repeat it after I get the recording. Okay. As a working employee, I could not do it on the weekday. Weekday, I'll be having other commitments, office work and personal work.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
again, I'll have to do it in the next
Okay.
weekend only. Next weekend, I will continue the class or I'll go through the recording. So this way, 2 week classes is getting postponed. I'm still in the last week class only, recording only.
Okay. So your concern is regarding the videos being uploaded a little late, right?
It's not little late. It's very late.
Okay. Okay. Sure. So definitely, I'll
See, if Saturday class, one class is completing by 12 o'clock, if they are sharing by 2 o'clock, we don't expect the YouTube video should be shared, okay?
I mean,
We can even get the link of this GoToMeeting recordings.
right. Because
Yeah,
what
Amit, you're
happened
supposed to
is,
say something?
because what happened is in this GoToMeeting, the videos actually are recorded on the local system. So I'll just tell you a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
technicality. So what happened is first the videos have to be converted into the MP3 format, and then the videos are
Mm-hmm.
uploaded in the on the YouTube. So that also takes some time. Say first of all, like the videos will be recorded, that will take 2-3 hours, and then when it will be finally uploaded on the YouTube, so again over there some time it is taken off. But definitely I get your
Okay.
concern that if it is like 3-4 days, that should not be that much. Even if it's like the same day, late night or
Yeah.
the next day morning, it will be beneficial for
Yeah,
all of
that's
you.
also better. By evening, that is also better for us.
Definitely, I'll talk on this with the team and make sure that you get the videos on a timely basis. There should not be a
Yeah.
that much of a delay.
Thank you. Thank you, Amit.
Right. So, guys, any other support that you need from me in terms of things, you can please let me know on that.
So Amit, in the LMS portal, we have the contents, right? So we can definitely read through the content, but let's say if you want to download or use some content, then that's not possible. So I spoke to someone and they said like, they're working on it where, that part would also become downloadable soon. So do we have any update, or if someone can provide an update as to by when we would be able to, download and, use this content would be really great.
That also I'll have to check it again, because these things are generally taken care of by the admin people. So I will have to also I will connect with them to get the answer to this.
Sure.
Okay. So now,
Yeah, the main problem, they are giving commitments, all the commitments when we are joining. After we join, they are not bothering about it.
no, it is never like that. So, because we as, Himaticals, we are always very committed, right? So it is, the things sometimes get little delayed. If I'll tell you the reason for that is because there are a lot of batches that are running around, and for upload of the videos, there is a team that is dedicated to take care of that thing. So due to that number of sessions that are happening, so a slight delay happens over there. So definitely the team is working on making this process as automated, so that the person doesn't do I mean there's the it should not be happening manually. The moment the videos get done, automatically the things should be uploaded onto the YouTube or the LMS. So this is something the team is working upon.
Yeah.
So definitely, we will get this thing sorted in the coming few days.
Okay. So the suggestion I can give, we can use either Skype or WebEx or some other application which will give you the immediate download and web recordings recorded. So those things are available. So it's just my suggestion. It's up to you.
No, definitely. No, because this syncing happens with the GoToMeeting as well. So with GoToMeeting also we can connect
Okay.
this to LMS, and right away the session will be done. So videos will be uploaded right away onto the LMS. So I think the things are happening on that side, and I'm not aware of the timelines that by when those things will be ready.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is something that I will definitely convey, that the videos should be uploaded till the time if, the things are not automated. Still, the video should be uploaded by the same day by same EOD, or the last by morning the next day. I will definitely convey this thing.
No, I mean, it should be at least before 7 o'clock. So if they are uploading by 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock, then we again will not be able to continue the Sunday class, right?
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Got it. I'll talk on this. Right, just I'll give you the update by the next
Okay.
class, definitely.
Sure. 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 Thank you, Amit.
Okay, so class, I think today, also we have the session till 10 only, so we won't be doing it 12. So next week, we will be doing the sessions full-fledged. So next week, again, I will keep it as a half of the session as a part of the doubt sessions. Okay, so we will keep the first 2 hours for the doubts, and then we will start up with the new topic. So you can all collect your doubts, in this coming week. And definitely, I will also give you some assignments like the small, quick questions that we did today. On the similar lines, I will give you some, it will be like more like this question and round. I will give you question. I will expect the answer so that you can just brush up all the things that we have done uh, in the last sessions, right? So this will just help you around to brush up. गरिमा, यार अपने फोन का हॉटस्पॉट बनाना यार। गरिमा, गुड्डू, गुड्डू, गरिमा। गरिमा, हॉटस्पॉट बना दो यार। हॉटस्पॉट बना दो, तुम्हारा फोन का क्या? फोन दो अपना, हॉटस्पॉट बनाना है। अब तो आगे लाइट टाइम तो लगाता है। हॉटस्पॉट वहां से बनता है। चाय पीनी है तुमने? थोड़ी सी, कुछ खाना भी नहीं, भूख सी भी लग रही है। मट्ठी तो दे दो, मीठी मट्ठी खाओगे? हेलो, हेलो। Hello. Yeah, sorry guys. Again, this power failure is happening. I don't know why. Yep. So, okay. So thank you guys. So let's connect next week for the doubts and the new topics ahead. Okay. So have a great day ahead and a pleasant week next week as well. So see you all next week. Bye bye. Take care.